Hello, we're glad you're here with us today, and we are here with two of our favorite people who make food.
Fun.
And fun.
And life.
Yes.
And cider projects.
Yeah. That's the fun stuff.
Yakira Batres and Daniel Green, and thank you guys for being here. They are with Bauman's, Front
of a ship.
on Oak.
Front of a ship.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
pointy
gotcha.
The pointy part.
The pointy part of a ship.
Yeah.
Bauman's.
That works.
We got it. So I was just wondering, so how did you both come to be here at Bauman's? You each can tell your story if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I guess I started
Yeah.
it. So, I met Christine, the owner, I guess back in 2020. I was, running a restaurant and wanted to get interested in cider. And I started hanging out at this quirky little cider bar place. And, the first night I was there, just kind of made conversation with the bartender, who's now one of our best friends. And he introduced me to Christine, who right away was just telling me to go buy an orchard in Salem. She sent me the Zillow ad and everything. And
Right out of the
Right out of the
gate.
gate. Yeah. So, we became fast friends. And, she kind of put me onto the idea of trying to manage an orchard, that they're available. And, easy to come across. And so, we spent about, 6 to 8 months looking for orchards. Found one on Sauvie Island.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So, me and Yakira manage the orchard now, but it's just a side project. But Bauman's has been around for, the family's been around for 5 generations down in Woodburn. And Christine's been making cider for going on 9 years. She's been making cider at the farm since she started. And then last year, kind of grew out of their space and thought that it might be beneficial for them to move to Portland.
Yes, and then they found this absolutely perfect property, right?
Yeah, it happened very quickly. Christine and her partner Jeff consulted me on what to do with the food program, and I was kind of in between work, and they were kind of choosing between food trucks or trying to do in-house food. And, I suggested that, she find a chef to do some simple stuff. And kind of kept that conversation going. And she eventually asked if I wanted to do it. And I said yes. And, we had Chris Lumena, our GM, happened to email Christine separately, and I've worked with him before. He was at La Pigeon, so he had interest, and me and Yakira were already working together. So it went from the idea of just like having simple wine bar stuff. I mean, our food is simple, but kind of getting people on board. It was like, okay, we could actually sort of make this a restaurant, and so we're kind of operating in this sort of weird space of being in an old brewery. It's traditionally would be a tap room, but we're trying to make restaurant quality food.
I'll never forget the first time that we came here.
Yeah, neither will I. We'll still at your car.
I loved the food so much that I had to express something to the chef. So I wrote a little note and I asked the server to take it back to you guys. But it was amazing, Daniel.
Yeah, thank you.
And I too, it was like, you don't normally find this level of food in, tap room situation. So it was lovely.
It's true. I mean, I think what you guys have brought over the years. Come on.
Yeah, we're just shy of a year.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at, the awards over there.
Yeah.
The can and all the things. And, every time we're turning around, I'm so happy and so proud just because we know you guys so well at this point in
Cool
time.
kids, we're the cool kids.
But seeing what's going on and your dedication to it, I mean, it inspired me to want to write that story about the elevated things going on. Like this is one of the reasons that it's not just, they're burgers, but it's not just burgers and pizzas and brats. It's like there's stuff going in. There's some thought. There's some creativity. There's
Time.
It's not just your average thing, the pizza thing. Like, man, and just down to the crackers. I mean, those breads, those doughs, those crackers. It's pretty amazing to see. People ask me like where to go to Portland all the time. I'm like, hear me out. Go to Bauman's. I'm telling you. I'm like, let me see if it's open today. I gotta check. I'm like, you can walk yourself right through the food menu just like you can getting flights on the cider thing. You're never gonna be.
It's with ease. It's just...
Well, I think because we're not a traditional restaurant, we can kind of pick and choose what we want to serve. So people aren't coming here as a six top and everyone ordering salad and entrees. We're in that space where we can have a sharing menu, but people can also have a substantial meal. But yeah, I think it's our benefit that we don't fall under this category of like what a restaurant's supposed to look like, and I think that's like we can see that the industry sort of moving in that direction.
Totally.
It's changing, and we're just I mean, our job is to highlight the cider. So we're happy that people are coming here to eat the food. We want to serve good food, but we also the priority is the cider, highlighting Oregon-made cider.
Or just being in tandem with food and drink.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah, I mean, it's so paired up, and it's obviously been seen throughout the wine world, food and wine, how to get out there the beers, and we're starting, and that's one thing too, seeing post-pandemic world, whatever you want to call it, or even the growth of the NA beverage movement. But that cider really, it came and it's stuck, and not only is it stuck, it's still growing. It's still moving. It's still, as we see some of the other parts of the beverage industry. I don't want to use the word struggling, but there's challenges,
Sure.
Well,
they all have a lot of history, and there's pros to that, but there's also a lot to break through and try to thrive and grow with new trends.
And it's always so interesting to see so many, as I'm looking at the wall right now of the tap list, it's the variety of it. With denim shirt. One of my favorites, it's me. And how you guys not only seasonally play with the menu, but there'll be the little tweaks of this and that. Like, where does that inspiration come from? Like, I saw this, I want to play with this, I want to riff off this. This is something, or just, I had this dream, I had this vision.
I mean, I think we're just always talking to each other about things that excite us. Also, what's great about the space here and cooking, it's just maybe the first time in my cooking career where I can just work with one or with our friends that come and help. And that just kind of relaxed atmosphere just already gets a safe space for ideas. And I can say one thing and then the other person, and usually Daniel, will be like, okay, that's great, but let's add on to this. And it kind of just all comes out in the menu.
Yeah, I think it's helpful too that we started with a very small footprint of a kitchen, and we didn't take over a restaurant space. We took over a brewery that is 9,750 feet of production space and dining space, and we've got, not even 200 square feet of a kitchen with no hood, very little capability to cook anything. All we had was an oven, and now we have 2 induction burners and a hot plate that we bought from Kitchen Caboodle. And just, I think having a small space and a small crew, it's just like, how can we get directly to the point of just what we want to do, which is serving simple food, sourced well, and handled with care. So yeah, it's not fine dining, but I think people, I'm glad that you guys like it and people like it, because it's just like, sometimes you worry about, trying to go after cooking simple, sourced well. It's, sometimes it doesn't click, and I think, we feel, fortunate to work together and be able to have some sort of success going forward, because at the core, it's really simple, and the fact that we have this simple space, it's like it's easier for us to just like
It keeps us in check a
keep
little.
going.
You should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
but it's good.
In a
you know,
good
it's-
way, yeah.
In a good
I think when you like have these grand kitchens, you have so much stuff to play with that it's sometimes overwhelming, and it's like just the monotony of the everyday grind of prepping and organizing and cleaning.
Oh, yeah.
Like the fact that we have such a small space, it's like the two of us can easily handle the space we're in and keep it organized, and we don't have that much space for all these ingredients, so it's like we're going to the market every week, or we're communicating with the farmers that we work with, and we have the ability to change the menu every day, or make tweaks to stuff. So I think we're it's been 8 months, 9 months, like starting to like develop the style of food that we're doing and wanting to like continue doing that. And it'll be fun once we hit a year, we can go back and look at dishes that like you guys might have enjoyed
Mhm.
in the spring last year. Like how can we bring those back and maybe tweak things?
Mhm.
And we have farmers that are excited to work with us.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
we'll just take stuff and we can talk to farmers about what they're excited to grow and what we can look forward to. So it's
Love
a good relationship.
That's such a perfect way to operate in my
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the luxury of the small space, and we have such a big space on the guest side
Mhm.
that it actually like allows for a lot of versatility, which is when the events come into play.
Mhm. Mhm.
From dance parties to skewers with friends,
Pizza.
and the pizza, obviously.
Yeah.
So
I love
it's
it.
a joy.
The dance parties are pretty epic. I've been to one, maybe two.
Did you go to the Chances of Wolves or?
No.
Yeah, I was like, we'll do that one again.
Yeah, we'll do that one again.
That was good.
Yeah.
Your guys' chemistry is so amazing, and it shines through in everything, and having, like I said, we're lucky enough to know the cool kids and coming here enough. It's become, as Dean jokes, it's become our studio. So thank you.
I love that. Let us be your studio.
You get an article in like the second edition of the magazine or whatever, summer or spring or whatever it was, and all of a sudden, like, can we come film you guys and hang out? But even then, I knew it was a story that was going to grow and evolve and keep on giving. And so here we are doing that. But a lot of it is your chemistry and who you guys are. But I want to go back to your cooking
My
schools.
history.
Yeah, I mean, if you want,
Yeah.
you don't have to
I'll
dig
keep
in.
it brief. Essentially, Daniel and I met through David, the same best friend we alluded to that introduced Christine to Daniel.
Okay.
And I was a pastry chef in San Francisco for the most part. And I ended up in Oregon to work at a winery where I learned a lot about winemaking and farming. And there was still a cooking component, but I was a bit more focused on that side. And on my way out, I remember it was like the day after I quit, Daniel needed some help for catering. And we just hit it off. And he happened to be pressing at the orchard the next week. And then I came to that. And I had taken some time off, and I was just kind of in and out from the orchard. And I think it was the same conversation about the Bauman space that we also talked about, helping with the orchard more. So I had some wines that I moved over, and so working in a space highlighting something, fermented beverage and food is definitely something that's become part of my life even before Bauman's, and it feels really good I was scared when I left the winery that I wouldn't have that, but I still got to do that, and it's almost more exciting because it's a new drink or a newer experience that we get to share, and it's our story.
Yeah,
There's no paradigm.
that's cool.
It's great.
It is cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It is cool. And I'm just so glad now. I mean, obviously I can remember when cider was never on the menu,
Right.
Unless you went, farmer's market and we're getting unfermented cider.
Sure.
But now I see it everywhere. And I just think it's very, very lovely. It's such a perfect complement to so many different things, And I was talking with our friends down at Art and Science, And there's not anything they won't put with their wine. They put all
I love
kinds
that.
of
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dan.
Oh, damn.
but that they have a thriving orchard, and they really blend that in, and so it's just all these wonderful new mixes that we can enjoy
Yeah.
at a time where, according to what I read, and you guys are so much younger than me, you can tell me you don't know what you're talking about, but according to what I read, wine drinking itself is sort of is going down, because I think people, we no longer have that pinky up. And I mean, I do it because that's how you really enjoy it, but that you have to swirl and sniff and all. Anyway, so I think that tradition, it's kind of seen its day, but all these wonderful new drinks have come out, just all kinds of stuff. And many of them have a cider base.
Mhm.
So
wine and cider hybrids, or
Yeah.
the cider done with a hop element, and
Totally.
playing with yeast, and looking at what's going on.
I think the world's ready to drink more co-ferments, and
Mhm.
I think we're all more an educated consumer, and maybe that's why a lot of kind of older wines are dying off, is because they want to know how things are made. And so I like to think of a world where cider and wine can be in tandem, as long as they're both, agriculturally focused and sustainable and just beautifully grown, which always shows in a bottle.
Yeah.
And that applies to, again, so knowing a little bit, I'm gonna ask a question, but that you brought up earlier, it applies to how you guys go about a menu concept or something that's going on. Is not only seasonally, what's going on, what does this farm have, what do we want to work with, that agricultural component, that's where, it's where it all starts, man. We got apples, grapes, what to use in the kitchen, dirt.
Yeah.
One of the stories that I love to share when we first chatted and do the article a few issues back was when you would tell the story of going down and getting the water from the spring.
Everyone loves the water.
I'm just like, man, but I'm like,
It's a fun journey.
but it was that. But you apply that kind of, you guys really apply that kind of mindset to the ciders that you're working on and the orchard you're working on and all the things that your stores are trying to work with in the kitchen. What are some of your favorite things to play with, or what are you looking forward to playing with in January of 2025?
Unless you were eager.
I mean, you can go if you got something.
Well, I mean, I maybe more. I just keep thinking about Allie and Layla and who are our friends that have a farm, and Allie comes in with like these bus tubs and it's like an acre and a half in Colby.
It's just a side yard. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a side yard farm. It's just sort of their passion project as well. So
Yes.
it's not their full-time job.
It's not their full-time jobs, it's their passion project. And they were friends prior, they are friends, but just kind of that feeling of seeing Allie come in with the bus tubs and the produce. Like, I love that. So it might not be like, sure, a specific ingredient, and that's very telling of kind of who I am. I love like the whole experience of it all. But just to have that again is,
Here's some stuff.
here's some stuff.
Like,
Here's some stuff.
Sometimes it's
Go
extra
crazy.
little things. I'm
Go
like,
wild.
As I was sitting here looking at the menu before we began, what is a tayberry?
Oh, Tayberry. It's a cross between a blackberry and a raspberry.
Blackberry and raspberry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Interesting. I've never come across them. I would love to come across them because those are two of my favorite berries. But
We can get you some. Bauman's
Yeah,
stuff.
Bauman's. I mean, yeah, and then there's the whole Bauman's farm component.
yes, absolutely.
Right.
Now I'm second guessing myself. Is it
Yeah,
just
no, I'm a little
raspberry variety? There's so many berries that Bauman's grows.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Anyone got their phone?
I put my
Google
phone
it?
aside for this. Well, homework.
Siri, what's a
Yeah, can we edit this if we're wrong?
Yeah, can we get a pause?
Unless Dean knows.
Yeah, Dean, do you know the
Do you know
answer?
the Tayberry chef?
DJ Rod.
We're gonna go with it.
Good.
Yeah, so blackberry raspberry.
Mhm.
Yeah,
always-
tea break.
Yeah, I've always said if you don't know, just act like you do. Just make something up and sound really
Yeah, but
confident
someone's
about
always
it.
gonna know.
Now, everybody that watches this is gonna get online
Yeah.
and find
We got
Tayberry.
Tayberry.
And they'll let us know.
Come drink it at Bauman.
Yeah.
Come drink it.
Yeah.
Most importantly,
Listen, but come drink it.
Yeah.
It's great
Yeah.
balanced drink.
that's fun.
And fruit. Fruit.
What are you guys thinking? All right, so here we are, Monday, the 6th, January 2025. Our first, we're actually into the real year, new week, whatever you want to call
Yes.
it. I don't know how we're in 2025, how that happened. Fun stuff planned. Have we got there yet? Do you have that figured out for at least the next
It's always a work in progress,
couple
but
weeks or months?
yeah,
At the moment.
I think it's just like taking a beat and looking back on the year and like being thankful that we've had success in a way, and how do we keep growing with that. And yeah, I think we've been doing so many different things, whether it's burgers or pizzas or parties and collaborations. So hopefully just like continuing to do those frequently and hopefully more often. And then also just trying to be kind of like a consistent spot that people can come and have a good meal.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Like, I think we get excited about everything we're doing, and it changes every week. I'm obviously like, I love baking bread. I love preservation. Charcuterie. Curing things. It's just that's like the biggest joys that I get out of the kitchen. Just how to bring in really amazing ingredients and like choose what you want to, preserve for a later time. Serve it with fresh stuff later. It's just sort of like the rhythms of the kitchen and of food and of seasons. And
That's rad.
so yeah, I think it's like always trying to evolve and just like be storing things and working on new things. But yeah, hopefully we want to do more collaborations. We want to bring in our friends and other chefs.
Good energy with the collaborations.
Yeah.
Always like, it's standard to go through the ebbs and flows, but when you do a collab, it just kind of invigorates you.
The astral duality one.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, and I think what we hear from friends around the country and certainly here locally, like people show up for the special events and the collaborations. So we should probably lean into that more. I think it's awesome that we have people that consistently come here for dinner, but I don't know if it's not always enough to keep us going. I mean, we're doing fine, but it's not like we have a packed restaurant every single night we're open.
Very familiar with the
I mean,
margin.
Yeah,
It's a
and
real
it's everybody.
conversation.
It's
Yeah.
everybody.
It's everyone.
The magic 8 ball of there
Yeah.
really is no explanation
Yeah.
for.
I mean,
But-
even the busiest restaurants.
But the thing is, like every time we do an event, it's so busy. The pizza's been so busy. So these sort of like special things, it tends to be a lot of work for us, but it's the stuff that we enjoy doing, and people love to come out for it. So trying to like figure out that balance of of engaging in these things, and it works with the space we have and the drinks we serve. It's just like it's fun. People have a good time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so more of that this year.
And I know it's going to sound corny, but isn't it a wonderful thing to be able to bring joy and bring happiness to people? Provide some place that they can have those feelings, because we know how so many of us are feeling right now. So just to have a place to be joyous.
Yeah, I think like hospitality at its core too. Like we work in this industry because it brings us joy. And it's like that manifests in like making other people happy. And I think
I was gonna say, you guys are having fun.
Yeah.
It comes through.
That's the
and
whole
fun,
point.
fun finds fun,
Fun does fine.
But yeah, I mean, it's fun to take care of people and have people come up to us and let us know that they enjoyed our food or enjoyed just the space or whatever. So it's like what motivates us to keep going. But yeah, I mean, it's just like simple hospitality.
Speaking of keeping going, do you have any like, oh, I'd like to do this? I mean, do you have, you're smiling like you do.
I feel like we're always doing things like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, the creativity is never.
I think on like a literal level, I don't know. I get really excited because obviously my background's pastry and it's been wine, so I have a little rusty at the kitchen. But I love like when Danielle talks about bringing in the whole pig, and then that leads to the charcuterie and just like being around that and learning either in the moment or through osmosis is like what I get really excited about. So I think like that's on the docket.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like living up to like, you know, to like what we preach and like, you know, what these conversations like, you know, it's really easy to cut corners, and we're trying to put ourselves in a position where we're not allowed to cut corners. You know, we try to make everything in here by hand, and you know, you have to be planned and organized to be able to have enough product on hand. So, I think like, you know, going into the new year, just trying to like be more organized and like, and you know, make sure we're taking care of like the priorities and I think like with the you know, the charcuterie stuff, like we want to do more of that. It's a huge priority. And like what that looks like is engaging with, you know, local farmers and you know, also with our project on Savi, like we have an orchard, we have land, like trying to take baby steps to do the right things. Like we started composting out there. So it's all of our food scrap is going out to Savi.
Goes in our car right to that orchard.
Yeah, I'm going today to finish setting up a chicken coop. So we're gonna have chickens, and hopefully that'll provide us with eggs here. So it's just like, how can we step up to the plate and just like continue to invest in, you know, not only Bauman's, but just like, you know, our lives and being a part of like local food.
Yeah, local food.
I mean, and that also plays into that joy, right? Like we aren't our jobs, but we can be a part of them. Like they can be part of our lives holistically. And that's what's so cool about being in a place like this, that allows us to have time or enough time to have those work together. And they've been so supportive of our project. And
There's a lot of value. There's a lot of value to what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, we have to give props to Christine. Like, it's her business.
Oh, sure.
But she's putting us in a place to succeed.
Always.
You know, and it's just like, I think it's total buy-in, you know, from everyone that works here.
Yeah.
You know, like she's here constantly. So, you know, everyone's seeing her show up. So.
Oh, yeah.
In the dish pit with us.
Yeah, Christine washes dishes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like
I have seen it on more than one
washing
occasion.
dishes. Like I've seen it in a dress with the apron on. I'm like,
But I think like, you know.
After winning a giant cup award, you know, all the awards you took home that night, and then she's back here. I'm like, come on, celebrate, girl.
But yeah, I think it's a huge win for cider in general as an industry, like for what we're doing here. You know, like you said, a lot of people, cider has not been like the main choice for a lot of people, and I think to have success, best new restaurant, whatever, like it's pretty cool that it's in it.
Yes.
yeah,
cider.
cider.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
A win for cider.
A win for cider. A win for fun. A win for passion. For
Yeah. Wow.
Lucking out.
Love what we're evoking.
Yeah, well, I think about it too, because as long as I've been coming here and seeing you guys and knowing you guys, you know, I see a lot of familiar faces on the staff. Like, there's not a turnaround, and that always speaks volumes to me. After my decades in the business, it's like when things are on the right path, people are respected and taken care of, and allow those freedoms and that joy, then why move on? You know, and sharing that. I mean, it's just. It's rad, man. It's like, it's hella cool to see.
Yeah, hopefully we can keep it going.
We're rooting for you.
Yeah. Once again, I'm looking at the stack of awards.
Yeah.
So I think you guys are on the right path.
Yeah, we'll try to catch up to Christine with the food, but I don't know if it's possible. She's got a lot of cider awards.
All right. You got a can, though.
We got a
you got the can, man.
We're like, the can is there, in case you're wondering.
I think you're going to keep up just fine. Yeah, I just think it's a marvelous pairing. And you guys' willingness to explore, and see what's there, like what's available, what can I do with it, kind of a thing, that's important, very important. Should be the way it is for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're lucky that it can be here.
Yeah, that's right. Cool.
Well, is there anything that you would like our viewers to know about you before we?
I don't know.
Anything else?
About you
No.
specifically.
I mean, we can go as long or short with this, but I think about, and we're obviously going to do other stuff because there's the fish and shrimp, there's foraging, there's
Yeah, we gotta go find some truffles.
There's the truffles.
there's packing up and coming out to Sauvie Island.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
check
you
stuff
guys gotta
out,
come.
and put the rubber boots on and go out there and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, let's make that happen.
Yeah, because it's the real,
Yeah, it's a beautiful way to live.
Yeah, it's how this happens.
Yeah.
It's how what you guys are doing, and being a part of it, and you guys are being a part of it. And the respect is there of the land, Mother Earth, nature, what's going on, and working with awesome things. So I think about those opportunities as we move through the year. Like, let's go look for some troughs. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's get
Yeah,
out.
this conversation's got me excited.
Yeah.
I mean, I was already excited, but when you get to just sit and just talk about ourselves, it's like, it's nice to see.
Which I don't like to do.
I mean, I do either, but I am kind of like this.
Don't call me chef. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't call me chef.
He does not like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
It's all good.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are having a fun time.
Yeah.
And certainly bringing it. Certainly
Bringing
bringing it. Yeah, I mean,
It's
it's,
been raw.
if you,
you're bringing it.
if you have not had a chance to dine at Bauman's, I would totally do that. And, come to enjoy the food and the cider.
Yeah.
Both.
And the joy.
And the joy.
Because
And
we're
the
bringing
joy.
it.
Because
Yeah,
they're
you're bringing it.
It's being brought.
Check it out.
Check it out. Dig it. No, thank you guys.
Yeah,
This
thank
is
you
really
so
cool.
much.
Thanks for always
Thanks for
supporting
coming.
us.
Working all out because I know everyone's been busy. And this
Yeah.
event, that event, all the stuff. See each other.
Yeah,
passing
December was
often.
great.
Yeah.
December was wild.
Winding
To more wild.
More wild. Very cool. Thank you guys.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Deb.
Yeah.
Thank
you,
you.
Dean.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody,
Thanks,
this
Dean.
is a fun one, and dig in. And as you just heard it, we're committing to doing some more and getting out there in the wild and getting on the road,
Yeah.
getting in the forest,
All right.
and getting on the farm. So, keep following us. We'll keep doing the do. We'll keep finding rad people and telling the story even more with these guys. And thank you very much. Peas and water, y'all. Thank you.
See ya.
Thanks.
Bye.